Frontdoor Inc. They want to be in your home, or I don't actually know that. I'm not sure exactly what it is that they do. Definitely related to houses somehow, which arguably I have no business analyzing at all. I don't have a house. I'm not even close. I grew up in a house, lived in a house for my whole childhood. Thank you, parents. Hopefully that'll be enough to relate to whatever it is this business does. See if you can guess where this is going to rank in the 2022 season. It is going to be the 40th company in the 2022 season rankings. Timestamps are in the description if you want to skip ahead to the ranking right away. All these videos are designed to be navigated as you please. Let's dive in so that your wisdom can blossom. The classic opening move of an item 8. Auditor is describing some certain accruals. Maybe we look into that, maybe we don't have to. Okay, we've made it to the income statement. Now, this is recently a billion-dollar company. I mean, it's kind of cute. This is millions and millions of dollars. So they just jumped from being in thousands to in millions. But as a result, this income statement is adorable. I mean, three, three costs of services rendered did tick up, and their revenue did not really respond. And so maybe we look into that. What exactly happened where revenue did not increase? Nothing too crazy in the income statement. Let's move on to the balance sheet. This might be the first company in weeks that I've seen that has zero short-term investments, marketable securities, whatever they want to call it. Thank you, Frontdoor. I would consider this a bonus for sure that they're not spending time managing marketable securities just because interest rates went up. Big plus. Tiny, tiny bit of shareholders' equity. Now, that tiny bit is tens of millions of dollars, which is awesome. But it is not even a third of cash on hand. Company hasn't yet made money, which as an investor, it could be a good thing. Maybe they're just about to make money, although we should be careful to not speculate. Going on to the cash flow statement, these restructuring charges are happening every year. It is a billion-dollar company, so maybe not too worrying. This is still so adorable. Look at these tiny numbers 2, 3, 1. They're stable enough for income taxes to be being paid out. It's not a bad thing. They are deferring relatively high amounts of revenue, though, but the deferred revenue could become a bigger problem in future years, but it doesn't seem to be a problem right now in terms of they still have ample money for what they're spending. Conclusion of the opening move is that this is a very straightforward business. It's not growing crazy, but it's not spending crazy, and it generates a little bit of money. I'd say it's generating anywhere from 5 to 15% of invested capital, which very standard. I mean, even that is not very dramatic in any way. Let's look at some of the notes here. A leading provider of home service plans in the United States. Now, interestingly enough, I'm just going to be upfront. I don't even know what that is. Let's see if they explain it. Our customizable home service plans help customers protect and maintain their homes, typically their most valuable asset. Okay, so it's a bit like an insurance, but let's see. Our home service plan customers usually subscribe to an annual service plan agreement that covers, so it is insurance, the repair or replacement of major components, of over more than 20 home systems. Interesting. And they have everything from the core electrical and plumbing to optional coverages for electronics, pool, spas, pumps. So, kind of a niche insurance company that we've stumbled upon here. At the beginning, I joked maybe they're trying to get into your home. Maybe you want them to come into your home. I mean, very welcome if you're here to pay for damages and to cover things that were insured. Please come in the front door. A technology platform that uses augmented reality, computer vision, and machine learning to help home service professionals more quickly and accurately diagnose breakdowns and complete repairs. Interesting. So, whatever they've been doing, now they're doing this technology platform right now. We saw their revenue not increase. Doesn't mean much, but at least this last year wasn't a good thing for new initiatives of theirs, at least. Now, every annual report is filled with this is why, and it's common to blame external things. But let's just check this out. They're blaming the challenging home sellers market, extremely low home inventory levels, and rising interest rates. Very true. Declining consumer sentiment. Inflation is affecting all of their contractors. They're dealing with labor, fuel, and parts and equipment costs. Those things are very tough to avoid inflation if you're dealing with them. Global supply chain problems, that makes a lot of sense, unfortunately. But also labor availability challenges. We continue to experience workforce retention issues, including difficulties in hiring and retaining employees in customer service operations. Huh. Even their contractors are experiencing similar workforce challenges. Now, people don't want to be engaged in customer service. That's fascinating. Maybe this is one of the few jobs where you can't really work from home. Maybe that's causing more problems than we realize. You could argue that a company needs to adapt to attract the talent that it wants. A big trend in the world right now is people want hybrid roles, especially in North America. They're specifically highlighting as impacting their financial condition. Now, here we're going to find a note about how they're breaking down revenue. The majority of our revenue is generated from the insurance plans, the home service plans. These are called renewals largely. These can be initiated either through a real estate channel or a direct to consumer channel. You see these little one asterisks. This is the brand new insurance customers. And so the very first year that you engage in their, I'm going to call it an insurance, but again, they call it a home service plan. You are not classified in the big boy renewal. And this is most certainly because there's probably a lot of people that try it for 1 year and maybe don't renew necessarily. And so they want to differentiate between the stickiness of this revenue and perhaps the meaningfulness of brand new people getting involved. I like this actually quite a lot. New business is around almost 400 million. Very, very nice to see. And this is in addition to all their existing customers that have been renewing insurance from since who knows since when, which is definitely over $1 billion. Now, their machine learning augmented reality is listed as other here. Here they describe other revenue includes revenue generated by the stream, which is that machine learning analytics thing that they were talking about, as well as ancillary services. Not even all of this is related to their new technology equipment. We can see just how little it is. Hey, if you're getting more comfortable uncovering the stories behind the numbers, please like and subscribe. This is not significant for them yet. Look at these growth rates. 20% over the last 2 years for renewals. Similar values across the board. Here we have a growth rate of over 400% for other. $56 million doesn't look like a lot when put next to these other numbers, but let's just pause for a second and remember that this is still $56 million in revenue. Their cash on hand is around 200 million. So again, not something crucial right now, but even if growth cuts in half, let's say it goes from a 400% growth rate to by the year 2025, maybe this has only grown 200%, right? Well, now all of a sudden they're making their entire cash on hand for this year in brand new revenue. Definitely pay attention to. Highly speculative what I just said, but this is the sort of mentality that is useful to have when analyzing the financials of a growth business. It's definitely not something to value highly right now. We're mainly expecting that if this is going to add value, it'll be because of the future financing. Ooh, they have something called our opportunity. Now, this our opportunity is actually not that uncommon. This is about the third page of the item one. No, the second page of the item one. So our opportunity right at the front of the report. This is common in growth companies. Not lots of insurance companies that have over $1.2 billion in recurring insurance premiums being paid to them that are essentially presenting themselves as growth companies. This is a bit funky. The industry as a whole isn't even 5% of the total addressable market yet. It's approximately 4%. Because of increasingly complex home systems, aka all the electronics that people are putting into the homes, and appliances, as well as consumer preferences for budget protection and convenience, we emphasize the value proposition of pre-qualified professional repair services and accordingly the home service plans. Now, it is a compelling argument to be made. It's a cost to find a repairman. I mean, I remember my parents struggling with finding plumbers, finding electricians, finding. I mean, this would essentially remove all that and they'll pay for it if it happens. Kind of attractive, so not gonna lie. actually wanting to sell to the repairmen that they're contracting. Okay, so they haven't said what it is that they plan to sell. In another part of the report, we saw them explain a machine learning augmented reality tooling that they want to sell to repairmen specifically. See if they talk more about that. Technology enabled platform that drives efficiency and quality of service. And what does this platform do? Well, it's advanced customer and contractor centric. It enhances the experience. It allows customers to purchase at home service plans. It allows them to request maintenance and repair services on an app. You can virtually communicate with representatives. You can learn about home maintenance and repairs. You can pay bills and track the progress of service requests. On the contractor side, it improves communication between contractors and our customers. Well, I mean, once the plumber is in the house, they can just, they can just say words. I don't know. Maybe Gen Z doesn't want to talk to plumbers. I guess I could kind of see that. Imagine being a plumber in 10 years. You might actually want to text the owners of the house, even if they're just in the room next to you. So this is what their app has been so far. Now they're going to talk about we can use all these stuff in order to help home service professionals accurately diagnose breakdowns and complete repairs. It also, in certain instances, enables homeowners to use their smartphone cameras to engage in a video chat with a service professional who can remotely see the item that needs attention and capture a variety of important details, potentially helping to reduce the time required for completing repairs. Well, this is common, especially electricians. It's happened to me more than half the time that the electrician comes once, gets more information, and then has to come again. Maybe what we're talking about here is repairmen talking the homeowners through a self-repair. For now, I'm going to say that that's probably not the main use case. What you're going to expect is that no matter how often you video chat with your electrician or your repair guy, they're going to eventually have to show up. Now, what's interesting about this technology-enabled platform is that I don't know how much they're charging for it. There's a lot of costs here, and I'm not sure what additional revenue is being collected. Now, what we saw in the income statement was almost no revenue growth, but an increase in costs of services. Could potentially be an insurance company just doing something for the sake of doing something. Honestly, it wouldn't be the first time a company's done that. So here's another section, the continuing digital innovation, where they're adding a little bit more color into what they think might happen. Dream, which is this technology platform that they're spending money on now, impactful enough of an experience that it might just lead to accelerated or continue growth in their core business just because it's neat. It's having a neat app honestly is a big plus. I mean, that's what a lot of these food delivery apps do. Is none of these food delivery apps are actually quote unquote good, if we're being honest. But you don't have to be good. Like I've seen smaller apps that are actually cost efficient and good businesses get choked out by the DoorDashes of the world and the Uber Eats of the world that frankly just have neat apps. There's a very real business in having a neat app, even if you're not really sure why. People just enjoy cool apps anyway. All of these technicians will be very much encouraged to sign up to work with Frontdoor because otherwise it'll be very obvious that they don't have neat apps, right? Like individual electricians and electrician companies, technician companies, repair companies probably are not going to be spending the time and resources to create neat apps on their own. Said this way, the interactive digital features, I'm now kind of understanding more. It's not about fully changing how we interact. It's more about making something slightly memorable, and it's more of like a brand, which is going to make this a very dangerous repair service company to compete with. Were you able to guess what ranking it's going to be? Now, this is going to be the 40th company included in the list for 2022 season. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, comment with your own opinions about Frontdoor, about home services, about technicians, about anything really. Share your wisdom, share this video. Frontdoor is ranked 23 out of 40 in value for the 2022 season. Now, this ranking is not investment advice, but it does take into account price. And I can tell you that that's really what this boils down to. Frontdoor is being recognized as a strong company by the market, putting this almost smack dab in the middle of the ranking so far.